record on this computer. Okay. So what, I guess, main questions do you have about the payroll project?
Well, my number, I'm just not getting the final number isn't matching, so I don't know where I messed up at.
Okay.
I guess I guess if I knew or had a key to know which number was wrong, then I could figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
But
Let's
a question, I guess, is the modified gross pay. I mean, do all the taxes there, they come from that earning period, right? Not from a modified gross pay. Is that right?
well, the earning period, well, not all the taxes. So the
Okay.
federal taxes is based off modified gross pay, and then the state is also based off the modified gross pay.
Oh, okay.
So both the state income tax of 5% and the federal tax withholding are based off the modified gross pay.
Oh, okay. And the modified gross pay is this is Social Security and Medicare and the 401k subtracted from the earning, that 2-week earning paycheck.
No.
Okay.
So it's just the earnings minus the 401k. The Social
Oh,
Security and Medicare
oh, okay.
are not part of that modified gross pay.
Oh, okay.
Was that different in the other assignment? Do you know?
I can't
Do you
remember.
remember? Yeah, I can't remember either. I think someone mentioned that it might have been, but I don't think it was. Hopefully it wasn't.
Because some 401ks are taxed, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
And the issue is, and it's hard to do it in this kind of setting where everyone's in different states and different places, and we don't have a state specific, um, job, because it could be state specific where they allow you to deduct the Social Security, Medicare, or they don't. But in this example, and I think in the previous example, it's just the earnings, the total earnings minus your 401k or your Medicare or your medical insurance to get the modified gross pay.
okay. And then all of the taxes go off of that, the
Well, the
modified
Social
gross.
Security and Medicare go off of your gross, and then your
Not
state income and federal go off the modified.
okay.
And I can share with you, I'll share with you my key, and we can go through and you can compare to what you have. But a lot of the questions have come up to like, what is the wages to current period? And it's basically the year total,
Mhm.
subtract the last earnings or whatever is going on in previous periods too. So like Ron is 180 in a year. It says he was salary in the assignment. So basically you take the 180 divided by 24,
Mhm.
and then that what wages up to current period is the 180 minus 7,050. And each one is a little bit different if I remember correctly. Like this one, for example, is um, $38 for the full year, the 2080, because their assumption that 40 hours a week for 52 weeks is 2080. But then this period is a 2-week period for $38 a period, or $38 an hour. So it's 3,040. And that's how you get the year total minus this gets you the wages up to current period. So there's a
Okay.
few different um, ways we've calculated this wages up to current period and making those assumptions on the earning for that period. or the payroll period. But yeah, this net pay per employee is what the hint should total. And that's our wages payable down here. So our total wages payable for our journal entry for employee portion.
Okay. Okay, it does look like my last one, is that Jane? I figured that wrong. That number is wrong,
Okay.
but I think the others are right. So I
Okay.
can refigure that one.
And then another thing that a lot of people had questions on, and you probably don't have questions on it, but this FUTA and SUTA, again, if it's over 7,000 in a year, for example, all of these wages up to current period are over 7,000, except for Bill and John. So we're not going to calculate those except for Bill and John.
Okay.
And then for Bill and John, we take the earnings in that period times it by 6%. And that's where we get the amount. And same for SUTA. If it's over 33,100, then we won't include it. And all of the other employees are over that amount. So we're only going to calculate it for Bill and John.
Okay. I did see that comment in the chat. So yeah, I fixed that.
Okay, good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was a common concern across any of them. I'm looking at another person's that they sent me before asking if it looked good, but yeah, these are the only two that have hurdles, is the FUTA and SUTA. So everything else, there's no limit to how much they can get taxed.
Okay.
And again, you probably understand that, but there's other people out there that have been calculating that wrong. And then for all the people that don't understand 401k and how that works, we have some people that are international and they've probably never even heard of a 401k.
Yeah. Okay.
But a 401k is essentially a retirement plan, and whatever you put in, the company collects that and sends it to a fund, a 401k manager, which is usually their own fund. And then in some instances, they match it. So it looks like Ron puts in 5% based off of this gross pay, $375, and then the employer matches that at 50 cents on the dollar. So
right.
He put in 375, the employer put in 187.50.
Okay, got it. Yes.
And then and then just a hint for everyone with these journal entries, these are the employee portion. So this is all the employee side of things. So what the employee has to pay. So out of the total wages of $20,836, we as an employer will collect Social Security, Medicare, your 401k, your state, and your federal, and then we'll pay you your net. So that's the journal entry for the employee portion. But the employer also has to pay additional expenses above what the hourly wages. And that is, the match for the 401k, payroll tax expense, and workers' comp expense. And you'll, if you look closely, they're a little bit different than what the employee pays. And that's the expenses, but then these are payables, and the payables go into the same funds basically as these because we're going to pay them all at once.
Right, okay. Okay, a question about the Social Security, in trying to figure everything out today.
Yeah.
I went back and did some reading, and so Social Security, isn't it not taxable after 130,000?
That is a good question. I am not sure, to be honest with you.
Okay, I
And
thought
I
I
do
read that
know,
today, but looks like this is still calculated, so just don't worry about that then.
yeah, and it changes every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the tax rate for 2022 earnings sits at 6.2 each employee. So individuals earning 147,000 or more
Oh,
was the maximum possible Social Security benefit in 2022. Oh, that's actually pulling it out. 147 seems like it was for last year. 2021 was 142.80. So
oh,
it's
okay.
different every year, but let's just assume that we're just doing the Social Security at 6.2 no matter what.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question, good catch. But I think that's a step above what we're dealing with here.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. Well, it looks like I found some mistakes then that I can go fix, and then maybe I'll have it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll post this up on YouTube as well. So if you have more questions, you can look at this key and kind of
Oh,
review against what you've done.
okay. That'd be great.
But I don't think there's anyone else on the call. So we'll go from there. And if anyone else has questions, they can message me directly. And I'll double check on that Social Security because that's why I'm reading that it went up to 147 for 2022. I'm not sure what it is for 2023.
Okay.
But it also changes if you're doing married filing as opposed to single.
Oh,
And I wonder if the 147 is the single. Starting back in 2000, employee portion of Medicare. Medicare, there's a limit of 200,000 for single, 250 for married. Anyways, let's just assume that it's always taxed for our
yeah,
purposes.
that sounds like a lot to worry about. It changes every year, and who knows what year the
Yeah,
assignment's for, right?
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, great.
Okay. Well, thank you, Melanie.
Okay, thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I'll post this for anyone's watching on Facebook or YouTube. Message me with any questions you might have. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brother
We'll talk to you
Lopez.
later.
All right,
Yep.
bye-bye.
Bye.